Hello again, second video of tonight. I wanted to talk a little bit about support and coming out to your family as transgender. Because I did come out just 3 weeks ago, it's all still pretty fresh. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience of coming out to first my father and, well, no, first my partner. I sort of gradually came out to him over the course of 3 years. Uh, so first my partner, then my father, then my mother and stepfather, then uh, pretty much everybody else over the course of 3 weeks. Brothers, well, stepbrothers, best friend, um, other best friend, friends, close family, other families, yeah. So, unlike probably a lot of people, everyone has been very supportive. Everyone. From my partner to the random friends that message me on Facebook saying, way to go, be yourself, be the best you can be, blah, blah, blah. Everyone has been supportive. How rare is that, really? I mean, usually there's at least one person, one dissenter that says, oh, you're transgender, blah, 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 or whatever, you know? Sorry, that was probably a really obnoxious voice. But how rare is that, really? I mean, to have everyone be supportive. When I told the therapist in my support group about that, she was immediately surprised and said, "Man, we need to write an article about this." And I was like, "What? What do you mean? Why? Why would we need to write an article about this?" And she said, "Because that's so rare." And I think that in today's day and age, it's a lot less rare than we think, and that we're maybe not giving people as much of a chance, and that we're maybe being more defensive than we need to be about coming out. Maybe. I live in Arizona, as I've mentioned before. This is not the most liberal state. In fact, it's one of the most conservative states. We constantly vote against gun regulation. We constantly vote against things like raising taxes for education. We constantly vote against things that are traditionally liberal causes. Gay marriage is against the law here. Bisbee recently tried to pass some legislation just within their little area, just within the city, that would enable gays and lesbians to, or, well, anyone that's in a same-sex relationship to get a civil union. Well, Arizona said, fuck no! And Bisbee has since had to amend portions of that so that gays and lesbians in a same-gender or same-sex civil union would not have the same rights as a married heterosexual couple or a heterosexual couple within a civil union, such as inheritance, medical benefits, things like that. So Arizona is pretty conservative, to say the least. Not sure where I was going with this. Kind of forgot what I was talking about. Oh, right, support. So when I came out to my family, I was very shocked. Well, not really so much shocked. I wasn't expecting people to be supportive. I wasn't expecting my family and friends to back me up. What I was expecting is to be shunned. What I was expecting is the worst case scenario. It's one of those expect the worst, hope for the best sort of things, and that's sort of how I've run my life. I tend to prepare myself for utter and absolute failure and being crushed, and maybe that's not the best way to run things, but so far it's been slightly helpful in a lot of areas. You get a test back, you expect an F, but hey, you got a B. So you expect the worst, and you hope for the best. You tell your mother that you just broke the lamp and you expect her to put you in timeout, but she actually gives you a hug and says, hey, it was gravity. Or just don't throw the ball in the house again, or we'll take your allowance for a couple of weeks and get a new lamp that way, or whatever. So give people a chance, but if they decide that they do not want to be supportive of you, try to find someone that will. If it's a therapist, if it's a friend that you know is particularly open, come out to someone that you think is more supportive of the LGBT community than not. It might be someone unexpected. It might be your grandmother. It might be a teacher. It might be your best friend. It might be your dog. Whatever you need to do, if you feel the need to come out, if you feel the need to start making changes, whether you're trans or gay or asexual or bi or lesbian or whatever, pansexual, whatever you need to come out about, if you need to talk to someone about something, find someone that you know will help you first. Even if it's your church clergy, something, talk to someone that you think will help you. Build your confidence a little bit, and then talk to the people that you're less sure about. So this has been a very positive experience for me so far. I'm finding that people are a lot more accepting than I originally had hoped. So far, no one has defriended me on Facebook, which I could, well, anyway. No one's defriended me on Facebook. No one's shunned me from their lives. No one's shoved me into a dark corner or anything like that. The most challenging thing has been talking with my partner about all of this, because he's my partner and we have been physically intimate on many occasions. So it's more difficult for him than it would be for anyone else, understandably. And so far, he's the only person that's had any real sort of friction with it all. But depending on how far I need to go with the transition, which I covered in a different video, that will dictate what happens in my relationship with my partner. And I don't really want to talk about that more here, because the whole topic of this particular video is having support, and how you might actually have more people be supportive of you than you think is initially possible. So I'm making this video to let you know that there are families out there, and there are people out there that are you might be one of the lucky few, or maybe there are more trans individuals that come out and have support than is currently known. We mostly hear about the horror stories. Maybe it's time to hear some of the positive side. This is Arden, wishing you the best. Stay tuned.